As we're getting ready for the holiday cheers playlist, we are bringing on some of our favorite distillers and cocktail creators and personalities around the bar. Tracie Franklin joins us from Uncle Nearest. I need to tell you, Tracie, I've got some props. I'm ready for this segment. Here we go. I mean,
Yay!
it would be rude of me not to have some while you're making some, right? Responsibly.
I absolutely love it. No, absolutely. You can have any of your favorite whiskeys, but I can say that I really do enjoy Uncle Nearest. I am currently working with the Nearest and Jack Advancement Initiative to become a head distiller. So, I mean, I definitely support them and everything they're doing for the whiskey industry, and it's wonderful to see you doing the same.
Exactly. I'm supporting you. This is what we're doing here.
Tommy, I feel like Tracie's cocktail is going to be a little bit better than yours.
Yes, my cocktail is just Uncle Nearest and ice.
Which is a fantastic cocktail. I love it. But because we're talking about the holidays, I wanted to kind of think of something that includes another one of my favorite things, some bubbles.
Perfect.
But also that's simple for everyone to make. So if we think about a whiskey sour, right? So whiskey sour is basically just lemonade with whiskey in it. And then we throw bubbles on top. We have a winning cocktail.
I love it. I love it.
Right? I think so. So go ahead and pick your favorite whiskey. I'm going to choose the Uncle Nearest 1884. Uncle Nearest is the distiller who actually taught Jack Daniels how to distill while he was an enslaved man. He then became the first master distiller of the Jack Daniels distillery.
That's a really important point to note, too, because the Jack Daniels company and family continue to tell his story, and now he's got his own label, which is amazing.
Yes, that was created by Fawn Weaver back in 2017, and it's been doing amazingly. So we did one part of that of your favorite whiskey. Now, what I'm doing now is a simple syrup. So what I love about simple syrup is you can make it at home and you can infuse it. So equal parts sugar and water, and then I boiled for like 3 minutes a little bit of cinnamon in there. So if you can see there's cinnamon sticks in there.
Ooh.
And that just makes it a cinnamon simple syrup. So you're going to put a half part of your simple syrup, and then you're going to squeeze half a lime, or a lemon, sorry. Half a lemon is usually about half an ounce. If we want to be perfect, because honestly, you do make better cocktails when you measure. You can measure that. You can squeeze it and measure into your little jigger, or whatever measuring component you might have. You may have just like a tablespoon. You may have, do you see how it's squeezing out everywhere though?
I do.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason I don't want to do that. And honestly, because I know it's basically about half an ounce, I could just put it right on in there. So
you're a professional. I trust you to do it, but I think, regular civilians like Kelly and I should probably measure it.
It does help to measure. It just keeps everything a little bit more balanced. So we did one part of our whiskey, half a part of sugar, half a part of your lemon. You're going to add your ice, and you're going to shake. Now, a lot of people don't know why you shake, but it's actually hard for the citrus and your sugars to combine. So that's why you shake whenever you have citrus in a cocktail. Yeah,
I love the shaker sound
in here. We don't need, right? It's so much fun. Because we don't have a ton of liquid in there, we really don't have to shake too long.
It is funny when you hear the shaker sound. It sounds like I react the way my dog does when I say, "Who wants treats?" I'm like,
yeah, 100%. I do the same thing. And then we're just going to strain that into your wine in your champagne glass. Because this is right. This is going to be exciting. We're going to have all these beautiful cocktails. Now I've got my bubbles. Okay, we're not supposed to pop it, right? Did you guys know that you're not actually supposed to make the popping sound?
Yeah. Why is that?
Because it's dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Well, but also you're wasting good bubbles.
Ooh.
See, you're wasting good bubbles. So that's what happens is if your CO2 basically is just going to go escape from the bottle and you lose that extra length of bubbles that you could have gotten, or that extra sort of, there we go. So one of the things to be mindful of is when you're adding bubbles to sugar, it definitely bubbles up a little bit more. So that's also, just be careful of that.
Is this cocktail sort of like a mimosa, like as much champagne as your taste, or do you have a set amount you should use in it?
Well, actually, for me, it's usually just going to fill it up because we end up putting about 2 ounces, maybe 2.25 ounces of your other syrup. So then you end up putting about 3 to 4 ounces of your champagne. Just fill up your glass. But also, yes, if you would like to have a little bit more of the bubbles and a little bit less of the whiskey and lemonade, you can absolutely adjust that on your own. If you are hosting a few people, you don't want to make a bunch of these, you can make this in advance. So you can make a bunch of lemonade with your whiskey, blend that all together, so people can just pour a little bit of that sort of whiskey sour concoction into their glass and then just top with their own champagne or their own bubbles at will. So that way you don't have to make every single cocktail for everyone, because, hosting can get boring. You can go ahead and throw a little cinnamon stick to make it fancy. Or if you have a lemon wheel, you can twist that air, put those beautiful oils in there, throw that in, and you're set.
Cheers.
Yum.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Tracie Franklin. So how has it been for you working in the cocktail industry in 2020? I know Uncle Nearest, the brand you're working for now, has just this great trajectory, but someone who wants to become a distiller, how are you feeling about, the industry and where it's headed?
Yes, the industry is definitely in a very treacherous place right now, and that is something that I'm very worried about, not just for the whiskey distillers, but for just my regular friends who are behind the bar, who are running and managing restaurants, who are servers. The hospitality industry is hurting, and we have millions of jobs that are at stake now. So it's going to now turn to us, to the regular everyday people, to really support this industry. And the way we can do that is by going to your local restaurants and ordering takeout if you don't feel comfortable sitting in. There's tons of beautiful to-go cocktails all around Washington, D.C. and the DMV area. There's delicious food that you can order that they've really catered to at home. So they have instructions so you can heat them up and really make it feel as if you're dining at a restaurant at home. And if you are going out, if you want to go to a distillery, if you want to reach out to them, a lot of them are delivering directly to your home. They have gift sets, gift cards for restaurants. There's so many ways that we can use our money to support the hospitality industry and the people who've supported us throughout this entire year. And previously, all of the years of us going out and being entertained, it's time for us to really reach out and support.
Well said. Well said. It's been so impressive how the restaurants have been able to make it so festive with the takeout cocktails. I hope that rule or law never changes.
I agree 100%. It's been my favorite thing to sit on my couch and just have cocktails appear. I'm like, this is wonderful.
And you didn't ask me. My recipe is two giant ice cubes. And then I just pour the Uncle Nearest on it, and I just do a little bit there, and that's how I make mine.
Did you stir with your finger?
Yeah,
that's actually a technique.
Puts a little salt in there too. Yeah, so if you want to try it at home, I'll put the recipe for mine up on the website too, if you wanted to learn how to do that.
Yeah,
Tracie,
I think that mine's a little bit more festive, I would say, but yours is just as delicious. So.
Very happy holidays to you, Tracie, and thank you for joining us.
So
and thanks
much.
for sharing some incredible history of whiskey and also this wonderful bright cinnamon fun cocktail for our holiday cheers playlist.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun being with you today. And remember, guys, go out there, support your local industry, support hospitality, and keep the season bright.